All right, guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for another live review of Monday Night Raw. We're going to take a look back at the May 28th, 2018 edition of Monday Night Raw that took place in Richmond, Virginia. Of course, since today was a holiday as well, I just want to say happy Memorial Day to all my YouTube subscribers and friends out there. Hope you guys had fun today, and no matter how you celebrated. I mean, I mainly just I've been up since 6:30 this morning, so as you can tell, I'm pretty tired. But got up early, went to visit some graves, some relatives, planted some flowers, and went back to have a nice cookout. And then I came home and slept until Raw. But I'm still pretty darn tired. And I'm probably going to crash right after this live review. So if I sound way off tonight, I apologize. It's just I'm tired as hell. But of course, this episode of Raw didn't help too much either. I'll give it that there were some things that at least had a little bit of juice to them. I felt something on Raw, but the show again just looked sloppy. Again, it's like the writing looked sloppy. A lot of things happened that just did not make absolutely no sense. The trend continues. It just doesn't look like they care. Like did Road Dogg get transitioned to writing Raw instead of SmackDown? Because SmackDown, is at least not like completely on the level of 2016, but it's been somewhat more intriguing lately. But this episode of Raw, again, this Raw continues to be in a slump, which I hope doesn't last that long. Because again, for a while, at least Raw was again like SmackDown's right now, somewhat watchable, not perfect, but I wasn't digging it. And this episode probably, since Backlash, was probably one of the better ones. But that's saying much, because it still was not really too great of an episode. It was okay to average, at least, but definitely a lot of filler things we're going to definitely talk about in this show. We got Dakota and Robbie in the live chat. Dakota says, Raw was awful. I chose to watch Game 7 of the War if the Warriors cheated. I think the NBA is more scripted than WWE. I don't really watch too much NBA, but I know that the Warriors are constantly kicking some rear end. But that's cool. Robbie said, what up, Mike? I didn't watch Raw, but I read about it on Twitter, and after what I read, we need to kickstart the campaign now. Hashtag please sign Robbie. Bailey eliminated sooner than expected. You just made the list. The Revival in a tag team barbecue. You just made the list. That was awful. The best match I saw was Braun and Finn Balor. That was definitely probably the best match. I'm not sure which one match I would consider that, or maybe the IC title match. I'll give it credit. It was still like a good match. Was decent to solid for what it was, but definitely not my favorite Intercontinental title match involving Seth Rollins. Yeah. Well, first, of course, or the Bobby Lashley segment. We'll definitely talk about all those. But yeah, I guess let's get the campaign started now, because hopefully by this review I'll still be awake. Because again, I've been up since 6:30. I'm so tired right now, guys. But I just want to get that out there. I'm not crabby or anything. I'm out of it. Anyway, so let's get the please sign Robbie chant going here. Because Robbie, after my special live stream this past Thursday, as he said, beginning of his recent video he did, asking and you shall receive. Or he said, as Robbie did another video on a great idea, I thought was talking about how to get Cassius Ohno over on the main roster when he first comes up. And I think it's really good. But of course, I highly recommend checking that video out up on his channel, as well as all his fancy videos. Hashtag please sign Robbie. Get that trending if you like what you see, as Robbie is destined to be a writer for the WWE and show all these other people, show these people that Robbie One Kenobi can outdo anybody in creative writing. Have the faith in you, Robbie. Get that hashtag trending. Hashtag please sign Robbie, and also hashtag promote Tyson Kidd again for writing that great opening match at Backlash between Seth Rollins and The Miz. Let's see here. Mike, is NBA scripted? I have no idea. I think so. The Warriors foul so much and get away with it. Oh, jeez. Boy. Well, okay, I don't want to say that because I know Dakota's a Patriots fan, but I mean, no offense, but I don't like the Patriots. But I'm fine with you being a fan of Dakota. But like, are you like the Patriots, like the controversial team of the NBA, pretty much? Cassius Ohno should be heel. I mean, I would be interested in seeing Cassius Ohno as a heel though. But I do like Robbie's idea if they were to keep him a baby face on a main roster, even though it would be a face on face feud he was talking about. But I wouldn't mind that. Also, too many smiling baby faces on your shows. You just made the list. Oh yeah, we have too many people smiling on the show as well, especially Bobby Lashley. But anyways, let's get started with this review, guys. Keep the stuff coming though in the live chat, and I will definitely get back to them as we go along. So, of course, the show opened up with a little Memorial Day video package of soldiers talking about comrades they've lost and the circumstances in which they lost them and whatnot. So that was a good package to open up to talk about Memorial Day. Of course, opened up with Braun Strowman coming out. He says when he sees that briefcase, he gets motivated because he knows there's a contract inside that guarantees him a Universal Championship shot anytime, anywhere. At Money in the Bank, he's going to destroy 7 other men, climb the ladder, and take the briefcase to not only be known as Mr. Money in the Bank, he'll be known as Mr. Monster in the Bank. And who's going to stop him? Not Miz, not Rude. He pretty much just goes to everybody saying no one's going to stop him. He's going to cash in and give Brock Lesnar these hands, which I wouldn't mind seeing at all. Finn Balor came out. And remember, last week, Finn Balor faced Braun Strowman in the main event, which was a pretty good match. I thought the two of them brought out the best things, so definitely. He got in there and he said Braun thinks he's getting ahead of himself because he was the very first Universal Champion and he never lost that title. Again, once he gets his rematch, he rightfully deserves one. That eats him away every day, which I don't blame him, and he's determined to get back on top. He's going to climb the ladder and take back what's his. He and Strowman went one-on-one last week, and he gave Braun everything he has had. But at Money in the Bank, there'll be 6 other guys in the ring, and it's every man for himself. And then Strowman admits, yeah, he put up a good fight for a little guy. Finn, of course, again, as Robbie was saying, was smiling until he decides to slap Braun across the face, and then Braun just, does his thing, like throwing Finn out of the ring, and he heads out to continue to do the attack. But then Kurt Angle comes out. He says they're showing one of his favorite things, intensity, one of his 3 eyes. Finn says he gave all he had against Braun, and it was incredible. So he's booking it again. So right now we're going to get a rematch between Finn Balor and Braun Strowman. So I'm like, all right, not bad at all. That's a pretty good idea. They had a good match. Finn was pretty much trying to say, hey, I gave him my best shot last week, but you're not keeping me down. I'm still coming for you pretty much. Kind of sounds familiar to somebody's fantasy booking video. I won't spoil too much, Robbie, but that's what it pretty much sounded like. We went to break. We came back. We had the match. But then Kevin Owens was brought out on commentary. Now, here's the thing. The match itself between Finn and Braun was good. It wasn't as good as last week's because it wasn't quite as long, I felt. And also, Owens interrupted the match going after Finn and then trying to attack Braun with a ladder also. But then Braun grabbed the ladder, and then of course Owens ran away and just chucked the ladder halfway down the ramp. Good thing he's got good accuracy. What if that ladder would have went into the crowd? That would not have been good. Which pretty much set up, for Owens being scared to death of Braun Strowman for the rest of the night. But here's the thing that was bothering me about Owens, though, in this segment. He was on commentary, and he mentioned something about, oh, yeah, when I talked to Finn and Braun earlier today, and they knew I was going to be on commentary for this match, blah, 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 and said something else. I'm thinking, so you're exposing there that you knew you were going to be on commentary for a match that not even Balor or Strowman knew we're supposed to be believing that's going to happen. So I just thought that was just weird how I mentioned that. Also, are we drifting away from this whole idea that Owens pretty much cried to Kurt Angle again, because Owens cries to the Authority about everything all the time, and tries to tell Stephanie that he's not getting his way all the time. Even though, as I said a couple weeks ago, and I probably said last week, Kevin Owens beat up Stephanie's father, but Stephanie gave him another chance to be in the Money in the Bank qualifying match over Chad Gable or a couple others, who was definitely a lot more deserving of that opportunity. And like now we're like bypassing that whole thing. Like, if they would have stuck to that story, I mean, even though I kept saying, we need to move Kevin Owens on from something else besides him just whining to the authority all the time, trying to get everything his way. I feel like that is starting to get a little old, in my personal opinion. Like, I love Kevin Owens, but these whole stories with him having issues with authority members is starting to get very old. As I said before, but we're not. It's like in fact we're dropping it and not just continuing with the story and acting like he got in the match fair and square. No, he got in the match because he cried to Stephanie McMahon again. So I don't know why we're kind of drifted away from that. It doesn't make any sense, big time. But I said before, the match at least between Finn and Braun I thought was good again. But it wasn't really that long a match. It was just them and Owens trying to take out Finn and Braun with a ladder. He got Finn, which that's a match. We're going to get a match next week with Finn Balor and Kevin Owens. Of course, a rematch from NXT Takeover Brooklyn 1. Of course, well, not a ladder match, NXT Championship match, which once again I was there live to see that match because it was pretty awesome. So we're getting that match next week. We're also getting a match with Braun Strowman. Well, I can't say that yet because we didn't get that part. But that's pretty much what that opening segment did. Then we have a backstage segment though with Owens looking like he's trying to leave. He has his suitcase. He's like yelling at the Valley people to give him his keys because he's scared to death of Braun Strowman going to kill him. He doesn't have his ticket though, and he's like, I don't care about my ticket. Give me my key. And then Kurt comes up behind asking him what's he doing, and Owens is like he's leaving because there's a Memorial Day parade, and Kurt points out that he's Canadian, so why would he care? Furthermore, he has a match tonight against Bobby Roode, so go get dressed. And Owens like, fine, whatever. He goes get dressed. Sasha Banks gets on a handy cam promo and talks about how she's going to win Money in the Bank after she wins a gauntlet match, and she has guts and skill. But she doesn't need luck because she's the boss, pretty much. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. He likes the Rockets. Robbie, I make the list too. No, you didn't, Hassan. Mickey James can be my Wonder Woman any day. Oh, yeah. Mickey got a good pop tonight. The Miz win Money in the Bank and Bryan is winning the WWE title at SummerSlam, cashing in on Daniel Bryan. Owens turn face soon to feud with Sammy. And wouldn't be too bad of ideas at all, honestly. Hashtag also please sign Dakota. Hashtag DQ Mania. I'm sick of DQs at like big pay-per-views. Mrs. cashing on Bryan. Yeah, I do think that would be an interesting idea. I definitely like that. What about Triple H with Batista at next year's WrestleMania and Taker's farewell on with CM winning his 17th world title? I mean, that all could work and could be pulled off. I mean, I know the Batista. I mean, to me, it would make sense for Batista to come back, have one last match with Triple H based off the issues that they had on television that led Batista to quitting storyline wise. So it would make sense, but apparently WWE really isn't for that. But if it's one more match for Batista, give him a shot. I mean, I still feel bad for the guy. He got a really bad rep for the 2014 run, and then I go back and I watch all of his old stuff. I'm like, man, this guy was pretty good. So I feel like he deserves one last good run. That way he doesn't leave on such a bad note again. I feel. Yeah, seeing winning his 17th world title at WrestleMania wouldn't be a bad idea. Also, if you're going to put the title on him, at least give it a meaningful title run. I didn't like how they just gave him the WWE title for 2 weeks after he won for the 16th time. Like, make that that tying run feel special. To me, it just felt like it was just a paper move for him to put over Bray Wyatt, pretty much. I mean, at the time being, it was a good thing to put over Bray Wyatt. But if you're going to give him that 17th world title run, just at least make it feel meaningful, not just like a paper move. CNC wasn't even close to retiring. I don't think he is either. Hassan said no Rowan tonight. Yeah, I was surprised. I wonder why. I want to see how Owens does as a babyface. I think as Owens is a babyface, pretty much be just Stone Cold Steve Austin. Guy does bad things, but he does the bad thing does bad things against the bad people, pretty much. He gets a good reaction for it, pretty much. I think that's how Owens will be as a babyface. And he also doesn't like Strowman. He can't wrestle, at least Roman can. I like Strowman. He's definitely gotten a lot better. He's not the greatest wrestler, but I think he's definitely gotten a lot better. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I'm not going to believe Roman turning heel until I actually see it. Looks like Alexa Bliss is right all along. Guess we owe her an apology, and that was our moment of bliss. Oh, we'll talk about that segment. That was bad. They do it for heel Roman. But why do people cheer Strowman? He is being pushed down our throats. I hate him. He can't wrestle. I'd cheer for Roman any day over Strowman. Hassan says AJ versus Shinsuke doesn't close Backlash. Hashtag they do it for Roman. Exactly. Cheer for heel Roman. The Rock is having a match next year. He done said he wants to come back. Batista wants to come back full time. Interesting mark there. Mike was hungry for McDonald's one time. Well, I don't mind McDonald's really here and there. Also, Styles is beating Shinsuke by double low blow, and Styles reveals he has a cup on. So I was leaked. Maybe that is true. W's going to Japan. Maybe Shinsuke won the title before then. Maybe, not sure at all. Who knows what's happening with all that at this point. Good stuff as always, guys. I'm going to keep it rolling here. And then we had this. So we had Elias get ready to play us a song, but he tried starting how many times, which in the past never something has really stopped him, really. But then the crowd wouldn't stop. And then finally he was like, he doesn't, I'm not going to get what he wants, so, I'm going to just leave pretty much. And I didn't really like, and then they go to commercial break. At first, again, I wasn't really, a big fan of, doing that, because it just reminded me a lot of the segment in November of 2016. Remember this segment? The segment with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. It was building up to the match with Goldberg at Survivor Series, and it was in Brock's hometown, Minneapolis. And pretty much they pulled the plug on his head because they were literally trying to get Brock booed in his hometown. That's what this reminded me of. It was just dragged on. It's just like Elias doesn't usually wait around this long for the people to shut up, pretty much, like I'm trying to do. But then, well, I shouldn't say worse, but like at least it kind of all made sense afterwards. He got when we come back, he said he got excited, but the people need to hear the song tonight. He's going to give them one more chance to shut up. He threatens to leave again, but then Seth Rollins makes his entrance. He gets into the ring. He throws out Elias' stole, and pretty much just like tells him to get out of the ring. So Elias, just gets out and leaves. So that part was fine, but why did you have to give like a long extended thing, like dragging before a commercial? Why didn't you just go to commercial, come back, have Elias just do that second portion of it, pretty much? You know what I mean? Like, it didn't have to drag out that long. But of course, it's 3 hours. We gotta fill 3 hours in some ways, even though you could have cut some things out to make the gauntlet match longer, because that's one thing I heard that match. It was too short of a gauntlet match. But then we had the next match, which was Seth Rollins versus Jinder Mahal for the Intercontinental Championship. Despite, again, just absolutely can't stand Jinder Mahal at all. I thought the match was fine. Probably out of all the matches Seth Rollins has Intercontinental Champion, is probably my least favorite, though, out of all of them. Seth got some good offense in, but Jinder just, to me, didn't really oppose too much as a threat. Later in the match, they kicked out Sunil Singh, but then he came back out, and while he came back out, Jinder hit Seth into the midsection with a chair. Of course, it didn't work out for him, but then for some reason, then Sunil came back in again, and then Seth did like a buckle bomb, throwing Sunil into Jinder. But then instead of just Seth trying to finish the match and then attacking Jinder afterwards, Seth went out of the ring, grabbed the chair, and got himself disqualified by hitting Jinder and Sunil with the chair. I mean, yes, I get it. Jinder, hit him with a chair last week, but it's only been building for like a whole week. What did Jinder really do that bad to Rollins that he had to literally, sacrifice him winning retaining his championship by having him just go out there and grab a chair and start beating the crap out of him? I mean, he could have, if he wanted to do so, he could have done it after the match, after he won the match, instead of just having the DQ finish like that. So he scares off Jinder and Sunil. I thought maybe Jinder would get disqualified. We had Roman come out, do the whole thing. But once again, we didn't have Roman this week. I don't know why Roman was on the show this week. But I dropped something on the floor. Sorry. Oh, come on, pick it up. Okay, got it. But then he goes to celebrate on the announce table, and then Elias comes out of nowhere and smacks him in the back with his guitar, which, again, I hate when Elias hits someone with his guitar, because in NXT, he broke down whenever Cassius Ohno destroyed his guitar and that loser leaves NXT match. But he's destroyed how many guitars on the main roster? And then, I mean, I like how, Seth Rollins, was being taken out on a stretcher, but then he got up on his own willpower. Of course, the poor guy was, today's his birthday, by the way, but people were saying happy birthday to him while he's, in a stretcher. It's like, isn't it the wrong time to be saying somebody a happy birthday, pretty much? Like, it's not like you're saying happy birthday, this is your present, you're going to take it away in a stretcher, pretty much. But is a guitar shot to the back really, that bad to be put on a stretcher? You know what I mean? Like, Roman Reigns took, again, a worse beating, getting F5'd onto the stairs, and he walked down his own will. But he barely took a beating at all, just a couple chair shots to his back by Brock Lesnar in their build WrestleMania 34, and he was being taken out on a stretcher. And I feel like, the stretcher was a little too much, I felt, for that. However, I am interested in seeing what would happen between a match with Seth Rollins and Elias. I mean, I don't think Elias would win the Intercontinental Championship Money in the Bank, but with how I felt Roman made Elias look in the IC title match they had back in the fall, I wouldn't mind seeing Seth Rollins at least trying to make Elias look like $1 million again, like I felt Roman Reigns did, in my honest opinion. That is back then. So I mean, I'm invested in seeing it, but the match, again, wasn't a fan of the finish. And I thought the part with Seth being taken on a stretcher was a little too much, I felt there. It didn't really need to happen, in my honest opinion. Let's see here. Did anyone see Enzo's new rap video? I did not yet. Dakota, Daniel Bryan doesn't win the Greatest Royal Rumble. Hashtag they do it for Strowman. I was all right with Strowman winning it because it made sense with Bryan being eliminated by Big Cass. And at least also, it continued storyline-wise, and it was not like, just a bunch of jobbers towards the end. Did you hear about Rey Mysterio wanting to form a faction with Andrade, Kalisto, and Sin Cara and manage them? I did not. That actually wouldn't be too bad of an idea, though. No Way Jose is already wasted. Again, he should not have been put on Raw when he came up. Cheer the crowd chant Strowman sucks against Balor. I thought I heard a little distant. A little bit of that as well, but I wasn't sure. AOP are wasted. Send them back to NXT. Oh, I am going to be talking about AOP also a little bit later on also. Yeah, he is. When is Jordan coming back? I'm not sure. Dolph and McIntyre will be tag champs. I think it needs to happen. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the fans. I do not know at all. Shouldn't Jinder have been disqualified since Sunil got ejected and came back to distract Rollins? That used to be a DQ. You can't do that. That is true, but once again, WWE is not continuous with their rules at all. Shinsuke doesn't win the WWE title at SummerSlam. Hashtag they do it for failure Raja. Yeah, Shinsuke should have won the title at SummerSlam last year. Vince won't allow him to be champion. Where is Lauren Hutton? I have no idea where Lauren is. He also Dakota doesn't like Shinsuke. I mean, I think Miz needs to be the top heel SmackDown, and it was the fall that they put him on the stretcher. I can't believe that Elias is still being booed now. I mean, I know Elias is the heel, but he's definitely getting a good reaction out of the crowd. The crowd's definitely behind him. But yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think, although, I think, the heel Nakamura has, improved him because WWE was not booking well as a babyface at all. But I do agree that I think The Miz is definitely the better heel right now. And I think, he ran his course, I think, as a mid-card champion. I think he does deserve definitely to be considered for the main event scene because of how great, how much he's definitely improved over the past 2 years. I definitely agree that Miz somewhat deserves to be in the main event scene more than Shinsuke at this point. So I definitely agree with that point there. Okay, then we had this segment. I did not like this segment at all. So Nia Jax came out, and she was halfway down the ramp, and then Ronda Rousey came out to be on commentary. So Nia gets on a microphone, and she's glad she came down for this exhibition because she'll show her exactly what she's going to do by having her opponent demonstrate an armbar. her opponent does indeed take her down into a cross armbar, which I forgot what her name was. Nia executes a power bomb counter. She's like, arm bars don't mean much to her. You see, if Ronda can even put it on her. She draws her opponent again, which was Michelle Webb, back up and puts her down, hits her a Samoa drop. She got one more trick, though. She hits the ropes and crushes her with a running leg drop. Count to 40, she's not getting up. And Ronda's never experienced anything like that in UFC. She hits it again and says that Webb needs some assistance. This didn't make any sense. She says that Webb needs some assistance and invites Ronda down to help her out. But when Ronda got back to the ring, though, Webb was already out of the ring. So they were pretty much just staying in there, and then Nia pretty much just gets in her face. And also, when they were coming down, Nia told the crowd to shut up. Nia pretty much says that she's not intimidated. In fact, it's quite humorous to think Ronda's cute. She then just leaves with Ronda staying in the ring. So I'm trying to get this all straight here. So, and some of you guys even in the live chat, some people on Twitter have mentioned this also. So Nia Jax just had a feud with Alexa Bliss, where she was doing these anti-bullying campaigns, right? She came across as a bully in this segment right here. Alexa was pretty much right. It made Alexa pretty much look like she was right, which is it the job for, the baby faces, the heels, to be proven wrong pretty much? And the baby face is overcoming, the obstacle? So that whole feud feels wasted now. And also, hasn't Nia Jax tapped out to Asuka's armbar several times? Didn't she also tap out to Becky Lynch's disarmer, which is very similar to the armbar at Survivor Series in 2016, I believe it was? This made no sense. Like, again, I just still think it's way too early for Ronda to begin a title opportunity, especially against like Nia Jax. Like, although Nia has improved a little bit this year, I actually think she's like that serious a competition, really, that it would mean that much for Ronda to win or lose this championship match. I will say this, though. Something did stand out to me, though, from the promo that Stephanie cut last week, and she said how many times, is that basing off of, what happened with Ronda toward the end of her UFC career, how she started losing a few matches, she mentioned how Ronda can't accept failure. So with that being said, I just think Ronda should lose this match at Money in the Bank and, build back up to, that rumor match for her and Charlotte at WrestleMania 35. I think they need to explore that route with how Ronda overcomes failure, I think, in order, to help improve her character in some ways, and her microphone skills and whatnot. But yeah, and also I thought this was, just Nia just wanting to find competition. So she, chose Ronda Rousey as her opponent for Money in the Bank. But now it looks like she's just, bullying her. There's a difference between having a face-on-face feud when you're trying to, make somebody, trying to, stand up for yourself pretty much. But then there's this of her, just trying to, intimidate Ronda and be a bully pretty much. Like Nia was pure heel in this segment. I may do a turn alert this week. I may wait one more week just to be safe because I'm really tired tonight. I don't think I'm going to be able to last and do that. Do the Eternal or tonight anyways. But yeah, it felt like we were going in a way different direction now with the dynamic for this feud, definitely. So wasn't a big fan of this feud at all. Of this segment at all, in my honest opinion. Let's see here. Vince allowed Nakamura to beat Cena and Orton and even the Royal Rumble. That is true. He said in his own words that a Japanese wrestler will never be WWE champion, which is ridiculous. Heel Nakamura isn't going to make him a champion. Nia turned heel. Nia was the bully. Not sure yet, but to be frank, I prefer Nia as a heel as she fails as a face. So if the face turn was wasted, so be it. True. I do agree, Nia probably is more better off being a dominating, heel because she's supposed to be, an unstoppable force, even though they half-assed her matches at the time, where she just takes everything for granted. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. And Dakota, didn't Vince allow Yokozuna, who is Samoan, to be champion? That is true. Should Ruby Riott have been disqualified too, since her stablemate teammates took Bailey out after they got eliminated? I mean, you can't do that either. That is true. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I like Ruby Riott. I mean, I'll talk about that when I get there later. Get to the main event also about about the Riot Squad and whatnot as usual. We had another handicap promo with Dana Brooke at a whiteboard making a bunch of statistics stuff, saying that she takes the statistics course to work out the optimal strategy, but luckily she is that person. Then we had a tag match, the leaders of worlds, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy taking on the Ascension. Match was very average. I mean, Matt and Bray have done all they could as tag champions. There's just no depth in this Raw tag team roster at all. None at all. So, I mean, it's not their fault, but they can't do much more, really, for what they have. Matt and Bray win the match. But then, backstage, we have the B team coming up saying that they want a tag title match. Angle says they've been doing really well, but beating the same team 2 weeks in a row isn't going to, cut it. What will the other teams think of them leapfrogging over them? And Dallas thinks they have to go get the other team's blessings for a title shot, and asks Axel if he's thinking what he's thinking. But he tuned out because of that jerk Kurt Angle, who can totally hear, of course, everything he's saying. And Dallas wants to invite all the tag teams to a B Team Memorial Day tag team barbecue. So Angle's not saying that at all. Pretty much saying, no, we're not. That's what I'm saying. But then they decide, no, we're going to go do it. So Angle's like, okay, whatever. We had a Riot Squad promo with a handicap saying they don't care about the odds. They fight as a pack, one way or another. The final place in the Money in the Bank belongs to them. Yeah, right now you're not big threats at all. Then we have Bobby Roode and Kevin Owens. I was already starting to zone out. I mean, the match was average to decent for what it was. Wasn't anything too special. But Owens wins by with a prawn hold. And of course, Braun came out because he was targeting Owens after Owens tried to destroy him with a ladder earlier on. So Braun came out, which I can also understand why Dakota would dislike Braun, because ever since he lost that Elimination Chamber match, also it feels like that Vince knows that we love seeing Braun destroy things, so he uses that just to kiss our asses. As I keep saying, Vince is doing all sorts of things just to kiss ass. And just to have Braun come out and just destroy is just like all he wants to do, and it is starting to not look as effective anymore as it was before. But he came out and pretty much starts destroying Owens. But then Bobby Roode is just hanging around there, like getting all excited. I'm like, what are you getting all excited for? Why all of a sudden you're acting like you and Strowman are buddies? So then, like, after Strowman hit like 2 running power slams on Owens, he then grabs Bobby Roode and he hits a running power slam on him as well. And then we're getting a match next week, Bobby Roode and Braun Strowman. Another problem I have with Bobby Roode right now is this. He came over to Raw, and all he's really done is lost, except for his Money in the Bank qualifying match. Again, I like Bobby Roode, but it's obvious again that Vince views him as just an entrance because it's glorious. But then, of course, he does nothing else besides his entrance. And again, he won one match out of like 4 or 5 against Elias, and then he gets a Money in the Bank qualifying opportunity. He wins it. He's done nothing but lose. Unless it's up for a heel turn, I can't take this seriously at all. I don't understand why he's in the match to begin with in the first place. Nothing to live chat. That's fine with me. So then afterwards, we got this segment. Sami Zayn came out. This segment just reminds me of like every segment from the following week after a very terrible segment. They cut a segment like this, sound like they themselves, the talent, know that the segment they cut the week before was bad. And of course, as I always say, it's just all Vince just kissing their ass, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry that I had that very bad segment, but we're gonna make it look like we all knew it was bad." Well, if you knew it was gonna be bad in the first place, then why did you even go through it in the first place, Vince? You stupid idiot. Sammy pretty much comes out, puts his glasses on, and he reads some speech about what he did to the Lashley family. He says some thought his interview was in poor taste and described it as brutal and cringeworthy. That's his social media. He got texts and emails saying what was he thinking. So of course he hesitated to struggle to say I'm sorry. But however, should know that everything he said that was true. Though yes, those were actors, but all their stories were true. Like all good art, his expose of Bobby was rooted in reality, and he's such a brilliant artist that he doesn't expect us to get it. But history will look back on last week's segment very favorable. There's also no doubt in his mind that he's doing the right thing. Lash is a bully and a liar, and he's the one catching flack. If anybody wants to be sorry for anything, all of us should be feeling sorry for him. And we should all apologize to him because he deserves better, more, and to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match and beating Seth Rollins for the IC title and not issuing an apology to a repulsive crowd in Virginia. Then Bobby Lashley comes out. He's smiling and everything, which this part was nice. He's got into the ring and said, from his family to all of ours, if anyone has a loved one who served in the military, he salutes them and thanks them. Since also he's from a military family also. And he turns to Sammy and says he's glad to see him again. And his real sisters actually think he's quite entertaining because he never contacted them. But it gets old really fast. And he says they have issues. Let's sell them like a man in the ring at Money in the Bank. At first, Sammy pretty much is turning it down, but then he accepts a handshake and says he's going to haluva kick the grin off his stupid face. And Bobby refuses to let go. He ties up his grimp. And he says, I apologize for everything I'm going to do to you at Money in the Bank. Of course, again, it was one of those segments I felt it was Vince using Sammy to kiss ass. That, oh, sorry, that segment was bad last week. Again, if you know it's going to be that bad, then don't even think about trying a segment like that again. It was just terrible. And Bobby Lashley again coming out smiling again. I don't get it. But I will though hear that I was intrigued though when Bobby did get serious though. When he did get serious, I thought he did he was, cutting a decent promo, I thought. If we see a more serious side of Bobby Lashley, that'd be fine. But this also showed this whole storyline with him and his sisters didn't need to happen. I mean, yes, Sammy is obviously upset, that he accused Bobby Lashley storyline-wise giving him vertigo that kept him out of the Greatest Royal Rumble match and for him winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. I get that. But this whole thing with Bobby's sisters, it didn't really need to happen. Like, if they wanted to, have this focused on, that both of them, wanting to be champion and whatnot and both take away opportunities, then okay, that would work a lot better. But the whole thing with Bobby's sisters and his family didn't need to happen. And that's what this segment showed. Like, a lot of segments like this showed, they could have done this instead of this. And I'll be mentioning that about something else shortly also. We also had a handicap promo from Mickie James, which she was in her hometown. She got a really good reaction and was treated like a baby face. So who knows? Maybe Mickie will be a baby face now again, for all we know. She knows exactly what to do to get to the prize. She's not a 6-time champion by accident. She knows how to seize every opportunity. And at the end of the night, it'll be her walking into Money in the Bank. We had hype for Buddy Murphy's and Cedric Alexander's Cruiserweight title match tomorrow night on SmackDown. On 205 Live. We had Drew McIntyre taking on Chad Gable. Match was what it was, just a way to continue giving Drew McIntyre all this momentum, which I think he's killing it right now. Him and Ziggler, his tag team's killing it. I would like to have seen him though face someone else besides Gable though. With Gable being an upcoming star also, McIntyre benefited from this match, but Gable didn't. So I was hoping, that they would have definitely given them a better opponent. But Dolph and Drew are definitely ready to be Raw Tag Team Champions. No matter who's Raw Tag Team Champions, they're all going to look flat because there is no depth in this tag team division at all whatsoever. But it is what it is. McIntyre wins the match. Let's check the live chat really quick. Let's see here. He allows Samoans to be champion local at Roman Rock. Well, not Rikishi, but he was IC and tag champion. The only good teams on Raw is the Leaders of Worlds and Zigentire. I like that. And AOP, Zigentire. I like that name. B teams are starting to rise up. They are, but I wasn't a big fan of this barbecue segment. Exactly. We already know Strowman is going to win next match. B team is all right. What about the barbecue? The Bobby segment was okay. I mean, yeah, again, like I said before, when Bobby was serious, I actually was able to, take him seriously, be a little more invested in. But when he's all smiling and corny like that, I'm like, why? The sisters stuff didn't need to happen. At least Bobby gets a singles match. His character is starting to develop a little bit now. Yeah, again, just get away from this whole thing with him about his sisters. Again, it was just weird. WWE does segments they know is going to be bad to piss people off every once in a while. I also thought Raw was going to be good this week because of the Gauntlet match. It was a major letdown. I don't have high expectations for the Gauntlet match, but I'll get to that shortly. It should have been first so it could get more time. I definitely agree. What about British? There hasn't been a British World Champion either. I thought British Bulldog did. British Bulldog just won the IC title off of Bret Hart at SummerSlam 92, I think it was. Or 91, 1 to 2, but he won that, but he didn't win the world title. But then we had this B Team Memorial Day barbecue. We pretty much just gave everybody food and just kissed up to everybody, pretty much saying they wanted a tag title opportunity, but then they're like, no, is this what it's all about? You're not getting that. And they had a big food fight. That's all it pretty much was. Pointless, waste of time, because after we came back from break, the B Team came up, of course, all soaked up in food. And Angle says after the mess they created, they're going to settle what happened in the ring. A tag team battle royal for the #1 contendership. And they're, of course, they're all happy, thanking for the opportunity. Kurt gives him this big hug and gets, a lot of food all over Kurt's suit and whatnot. When it happened, I'm like, so you're cutting back more time from this gauntlet match to have a stupid food fight when all you had to do was just either give them another match next week, or you do like a tag team turmoil or a tag team battle royale. You didn't have to do this stupid food fight. It was just complete filler, waste of time. I didn't care at all about the food fight. I thought it was stupid. Again, just complete filler. Just something else I felt that, okay, you could have done that, but you didn't need to do that. But of course, Raw is 3 hours each week. We have so many weeks in between these pay-per-views because WWE doesn't know how to write, leading on to a show. Meantime, NXT has like 2 months in between pay-per-views, but they know how to write, solid shows weekly to keep you guys, us intrigued or whatnot, because it's only 1 hour. You don't go to the next level with everything every single time. I don't get it. If Triple H just doesn't take full control, then I will never come back. Might as well start watching ROH. Go for it. Build up the competition. Definitely. Way Bear Neville could have become the first British champion. Definitely could have. Yeah, but nope. Didn't want to pull the plug on that. Then we got our main event, the Gauntlet match. And this match started at like 10:35, 10:40 Eastern Standard Time. And I already knew, this is not going to be that good. Compared to the Gauntlet match I have for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, I'm like, this isn't going to be that great. I have no high expectations at all. The only thing I cared about was the fact that, this could finally get somewhere else with the Sasha and Bayley thing. 1 and 2 had to start off, at least, go through everybody else before they got to each other. Of course, the first person to start was Bayley. She said, regardless of the odds, she's never backed down from a fight. She's not starting now. She's bringing the fight to the Riot Squad. Brooke's numbers don't add up. She respects Mickie James, but will go through her if she must, and that brings her to Sasha. Her name's on that contract, but she needs to take a real close look because the name on the contract is actually Bayley. So the match started. First it was Bayley and Liv Morgan, which again, Liv Morgan's just a complete joke. I can't take her seriously at all. She's just another Lana pretty much. She really can't do much at all. 2 seconds into the match, Bayley hits the Bayley to belly on Liv Morgan for a pinfall. She's gone. Sarah Logan came out again, just after a little sequence outside of the ring to get back in the ring, and then she just rolls her up like really lazy looking to eliminate Sarah Logan. Afterwards, Logan and Morgan beat down on Bayley as Ruby Riott came out next. Match was that long between Ruby and Bayley. As to surprise, Ruby hit Bayley with the Riott kick afterwards. I'm like, it's obvious Sasha's winning. I didn't care after that. I mean, I'll give it that. Well, of course, after Ruby eliminated Bayley, Dana Brooke came out. Of course, no, Dana Brooke's not going anywhere at all. So Ruby made it look easy and beat Dana. But then Mickie James came out again, got a pretty good pop since she's from Richmond. Again, with a short amount of time they had, I thought at least Ruby and Mickie put on, a decent showing. Of course, Ruby wins there. And then we get Sasha coming out. And again, their match was their portion wasn't bad either. Of course, the Riott Squad came out trying to distract as always. And of course, Ruby tapped out for Sasha to win. Bayley didn't come out even afterwards also. So again, I'm like, we're not going anywhere. We're starting to end this feud. That feud never happened. We're supposed to think that. Oh, that stuff with Bayley and Sasha, it never happened. They're just on their separate terms now. No. Continuity is very important in WWE. I will say this, though. Again, when it comes to the Riott Squad, I keep saying, I do not like the Riott Squad. They need to disband and at least go on their own, even though I think, Liv Morgan is just – they booked Liv Morgan look very weak. I mean, Sarah Logan, could be a potential powerhouse, but they're making her look weak also. And Ruby Riott was not this heel character in NXT. She was, she could have been a heel eventually, but should have been brought up as a babyface. I'll give her credit, though, when she was by herself, I actually was somewhat more behind her. So I think with Ruby by herself, I think she'll definitely thrive and stand out a lot better than Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. So I'll give her credit. She put on a couple decent matches in this gauntlet match, but again, this gauntlet match just felt rushed. It was short. They should have given this at least about 45 minutes, I felt, instead of like 20 or 25 minutes. This needed more time. But then again, when you had like no depth in it, only 3 people I felt had a chance to win this match were Sasha, Bayley, and Mickie James. But nope, couldn't happen at all. But that's how Raw went off the air. Sasha celebrated. That's pretty much it. Let's check what we got here. Live chat. Neville's British, but fat chance he'll ever be in the title picture if he ever comes back. I thought Neville was going to win it actually against Rollins. That match was awesome. They had in 2015. You think Neville would stand a chance against Rollins that time? But that was a great match, though. That match, yes. WWE needs to capitalize on Rollins with how much fire he is on by having to beat Lesnar at SummerSlam. Yes, that needs to happen because he is the hottest act going on right now. Mike, instead of portraying Nia as a bully, they should have had her just feel disrespected by Ronda interrupting her entrance and gaining all the attention. That would have been fine. Where's Shelton Benjamin? I want to see him coming out to his old theme. Maybe we'll see it on SmackDown tomorrow. Then maybe take her frustration out on her opponent, ultimately build the match around Nia feeling disrespected and Ronda looking to capitalize on her success at WrestleMania debut. Exactly. Hashtag please sign Robbie. I think Mandy Rose could be the next Trish Stratus, and they can hype up for Sheldon to debut a new side and be a dominant heel or face. They probably will. Because he's on a singles run again. I'm surprised they didn't put him in Money in the Bank, though, with his experience, though. But I'm cool so far. Almost everybody's in Money in the Bank. I'll leave the live chat for another minute. Let me check the poll on Twitter here really quick here. What grade would you give this episode of Raw? 8 votes. Nobody said A, which I'm not surprised. 25% said B, 13% said C, and 62% said D. If I say D or lower on the poll. Maybe Benjamin dyed his hair and he's coming back out to the gold standard. Maybe could be. My grade for this episode of Raw, though, I thought about it. There were some things that had like a little bit of juice to it, but a lot of things that didn't make absolutely no sense at all. It's a little bit generous, and I'll give this Raw a C. I was supposed to give it a C minus, but I'll give it like a really low C for my grade for Raw. Mike, I hope you make another Zelina Vega ice cream bar. Yeah, I still definitely have to do that. I will definitely try and make the ice cream bar, and I'll post it to Twitter again. That would be sweet. It would be. But yeah, guys, thank you guys again, as always, to Robbie, Dakota, and Hassan for joining me for this live review. I'm sorry I sound tired out, which I'm tired. I've been up since 6:30, so I'm probably just going to go take a shower and just crash afterwards. I'm dead. Tomorrow night, though, I'm going to be going to visit some friends and hang out with some of the guys for the night. So I'll probably catch SmackDown when I get home, which will be late, and I'll try to do a quick review either late tomorrow night or early Wednesday morning. So don't expect a review from me from SmackDown right away tomorrow night. I'll do 205 Live and NXT also on Wednesday. I'm still planning on doing a special live stream on Thursday. I mean, I know I had a good topic already picked out, but depends on if I feel prepared enough for it. Because it's something that I feel a little bit more challenging, which I'll leave it to until that day of the topic. But I'm hoping if I'm able to prepare myself for it, because it's definitely a really challenging topic, I feel, in my honest opinion. So I'll still try to do that one. If not, I'll pick something else. But I'll try to do another special live stream Thursday, and just stay tuned for odds and ends come to this channel as well. Anybody else in the live chat? AJ may be coming back to WWE. AJ Lee. Which AJ are you referring to? I'm not sure, but yeah, guys, thanks again for tuning in this live review. I'm tired. Check it out. As always, be sure to click my like and subscribe or come to this channel. Follow me on Twitter, DemandOver93. Make sure also leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Your thoughts on this episode of Raw and your grade as well. So, guys, I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Again, I'm going to be visiting friends tomorrow evening, so I'll probably catch SmackDown a little bit later on. So, guys, I'm checking out. Happy Memorial Day again. I hope you guys had a good day, good cookout. Peace out, everybody, and good night.